Good evening and welcome to the first UWI Open Campus Online Recruitment Fair. My name is Cleveland Sam and I will be your moderator this evening as we take you through 2 hours of information, presentations, as well as entertainment. The UWI Open Campus is the resilient campus. We are the online campus. And this evening, we are so happy that you can join us wherever you are in the Caribbean, or in fact, wherever you are in the world, to join us on this, our first online recruitment fair. We're going to be having 6 presentations for you this evening. We will answer all of your questions and we will provide you with all of the information you need to make your decision about entering the tertiary education in September 2020, COVID or no COVID. There are 2 performances as well this evening as we ensure that you have an entertaining and information-rich time with us here this evening. We are so happy that you can join us. Most of our presentations are going to be done using PowerPoint and videos. And at the end of the presentations, we're also going to give you an opportunity to ask questions, to clarify issues that you may have. Remember, you can enter your questions and queries if you're following us on Facebook in the Facebook chat or on the YouTube stream as well. And we will have our colleagues there from the various departments to respond to those questions in a very timely manner. All right, so welcome once again. And with that out of the way, we are now going to go to our first presentation, and that presentation is coming from the Academic Program and Delivery Department. And that person doing the presentation this evening is Mrs. Cheryl Williams Davison. Over to you, Cheryl.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, Cheryl here. Thank you for taking the interest to join us today. And we know exactly why you're here, and we're confident that we'll be able to provide you with enough information that concretizes that the University of the West Indies Open Campus is one of your best options, probably the best option, to achieve your higher education needs. Why, you may ask? It's simple. As we go through this presentation today, you'll be aware of the services we offer that are tailored to meet your needs. If I seem a little bit excited, please bear with me. I'm just really happy to share all of this information with you. Let's begin with our department overview. As you join the community of learners at the Open Campus, you will interact with the team from the Academic Programming and Delivery Division. This is just one of the wonderful teams that you'll work with to ensure that you receive quality education and enhance your skills as a lifelong learner. Within this team, led of course by our director, you have 3 departments: the program planning department, the course development department, and the program delivery department. Your interaction will mostly be with the program delivery department. I'm a part of that department as we help to support APAD's overall mission of providing the best support to you. So let's look now at your quality support, the quality support you receive in your academic journey. Studying for a tertiary degree is not only about the outcome, but also the experience. I can reflect on my own growth through the learning process and can attest to you what the Open Campus offers, as I'm also a student of the institution. We are here to provide you with quality support throughout your academic journey, from your experience with the site offices, the orientation or induction, first-year experience sessions, and even our library workshops. So, not to worry or feel like learning online will be a great challenge. No, it won't. You will be easily on your way to become a competent learner. We support you through the application process, through your orientation, and throughout the delivery process with competent and trained facilitators, ensuring that each step of the way you are being provided with quality education. Technical assistance is always an email away, and we support you emotionally and socially through our counseling services. Note that we not only care about your academics, we care about your holistic development. You also will be supported by your peers through the Guild of Students too. So you can socially connect with other learners. Trust me, online learning is an amazing experience. Now, here's the part I know you want to know about, your programs. Let's look at the programs. What will you choose to study? Note that some programs will allow you to start from the certificate level to the diploma. We have associate degrees, which can then transition to the undergraduate level and then postgraduate degrees. It's easy to transition to different levels and areas as you progress in your career, but it's just for some programs. I'm going to go through some of the programs so you'd understand where you're able to transition. Let me just take a deep breath. Whew. Before I go through the extensive list, I still can't believe we have such a variety of programs for students. So probably you're interested in the field of education. Consider doing a B.Ed in literacy studies, mathematics, or secondary English. We cater to those who are teacher trained or those who are not trained. There are programs related to education leadership at the B.Ed and master's level. With the world moving towards much remote learning, yes, COVID is here and we're still continuing, more use of technology in the learning experience is going to be needed. And so we have a master's and a doctoral program in teaching and learning with emerging technologies. And this is a great option. We also have programs that relate to health and family life education and early childhood development. Let's go to the next slide. For people who are interested in business and finance, you won't be left out. We have undergraduate programs in banking and finance, accounting and economics. You can do a diploma in public sector management or business administration, or even an associate's in business management. Can you believe we still have so many more programs to go through? Can you believe it? Remember when I told you about transitioning? Here's an example. When you complete your master's in child, adolescent, and youth studies, you can consider doing a doctorate in the same area. There are also so many other programs that relate to social work and youth development work that you can choose from. And let's go to the final list. The last set of programs I wish to speak to you about includes certificate in climate change, or a spanking new graduate certificate in disaster risk management and resilience, or BSc in sports, which includes sport coaching, sport kinetics, and sport leadership and management, and or advanced certificate in leadership for sustainable development. No, don't worry. If you didn't get all of that, I understand, but you can always visit our website at open.ue.edu and you'll see a list of the programs and get more information that I can even provide here for you. Now, what do you need to be accepted into these programs? Let's look at the entry requirements. Our entry requirements vary for each degree level. If you wish to pursue an associate degree, you will need 5 CSEC or O-level passes and approved certificates. For students over 21, trust me, we have something for you too. Your experiences are also considered. Can you believe that? Your experience when applying for the undergraduate degree is considered along with your 5 CSEC or O-level passes and 2 2-unit K passes. You will need to submit your certificates, your diplomas or degrees from approved institutions. If you seek acceptance in our graduate programs, you will need to provide evidence of a relevant first degree, achieving at least lower second class honors. For courses of study within our continuing professional education unit, your entry requirements will vary, so you'll have to speak to a representative directly for further information. As you continue to engage with us in this fair, you'll be guided in using our prior learning assessment, that's PLA, where we use your age, your years of experience, and your prior training, and that will help us in your application process, and that will be discussed further on. All right, so ready. This is a part that I know some people want to hear about, our application process. How do you get accepted? So let's look at it briefly. So the application process is rather easy to follow, and the registry department will guide you through this later on in the presentation. But here are some things for you to consider. We accept applications both in January and August for undergraduate and graduate levels. It's a fully online process in which you will upload your documents and then you'll get some feedback as well. If you wish to pursue an undergraduate degree for the upcoming semester, which I hope you want to, yes, you still have time to put those applications in. Consider that you have up until July the 15th to do so. For potential graduate students, you have until the 30th of June. We have additional options as well for those who are specially admitted and for occasional students. And you can inquire about that further on in our question and answer segment. The cost. Let's go to cost. And this is very important for our students. And we know that you want to know about the cost because of the economic times that we're facing. However, let's break it down for you. Even though the costs are quoted in US dollars, you can pay in your local currency. I will provide cost per credit and then cost per 3 credit courses. However, the total cost of your degree varies as it depends on the total credits for each. So each degree will have a total amount of credits. And so what you'll have to do is multiply your cost per credit by the amount of credits for the program, and then you'll know your overall cost. So for the undergraduate level, it's $360 per 3 credit course. So that's $120 per credit. For your master degree and graduate diplomas, it's $660 per 3 credit courses. And for your doctoral studies, it's $777 per 3 credit course. The great thing about studying with us is that we have a payment plan option. So you can pay your fees in portions until you're finished for the semester. Again, greater details will be provided to you as you engage with us during this virtual fair. I know I have given you so much information about the wide variety of areas of study, but I have one more bit of information I have to tell you before I wrap up. Let's go to the next slide, please. This is related to teaching you to teach online. It's our online teacher training where in just about 4 weeks of studying at your home, you can do it in 3 modules. You will be competent in online delivery. All of this, as I said before, can be achieved in the comfort of your home. Guess what? Who best to learn from than regional experts with over 20 years of experience in online education? So, thanks again for choosing to attend this fair, and thank you for seeing the open campus as your option. I might have said it so many times throughout the presentation, but I end by saying we provide quality service and support to ensure your success.
Hello everyone, my name is Giovanni Brown and I'm currently the chapter chair for the Guild of Students in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and also the Sovereign Guild Treasurer for the Regional Guild. And I'm here to tell you why I chose the University of the West Indies as my means for personal development. I would summarize it to say that it is because of convenience. Convenience because I'm in a jurisdiction that does not have a landed campus. Therefore, for me to attend the University of the West Indies, I had to choose open campus as my option, unless I was able to relocate to a different jurisdiction. Also, it affords me the opportunity to work and study. That affords me the time to do things here in my local jurisdiction and accomplish things at home and while still attending school. And finally, it also affords me that opportunity to finance my studies because I'm also an employee and also a student. Therefore, I'm afforded the opportunity to finance my studies a bit easier. And I would basically say that it was a decision that I am happy that I made. And if I may even say, I wish I had made it sooner. And I'm encouraging everyone out there to do the same. Seek personal development, and the University of the West Indies is definitely a viable option. Thank you.
And thank you too, Giovanni Brown from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You can be like him come this August or September if you sign up for the UWI Open Campus until the July 15th, which is our application deadline. So coming up next, we're going to have a presentation for our prior learning assessment department. But before I bring in Dr. Massino, I want to let you know that you can complete the queries form, and it's in the Facebook and YouTube chats. You can complete the form there with any queries, questions, clarification that you need, and complete the form, and our colleagues who are there will respond to those, or we will ensure that your query and questions are responded via email, because we want you to put in your name, your email address, the program you're interested in, and of course, which country you are located in. Also to emphasize that we will be answering your questions and queries in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. So once again, thank you so much for joining us as we continue to bring you this first Open Campus online recruitment fair. Up next, Dr. Monica Massino, as she presents to you prior learning assessment. Over to you, Monica.
Good evening. My name is Monica Massino, Program Officer in the PLA unit. Now that you know more about the exciting programs offered through the Open Campus, and you're probably wondering if you meet the requirements for entry. Next slide, please. I want to introduce you to prior learning assessment, where you have the opportunity to have your experiential learning and knowledge assessed for entry into the Open Campus or converted into credit. Why not earn credit for what you already know? Next slide. So what exactly is prior learning assessment? Prior learning assessment involves the identification, assessment, and recognition of competencies that have been acquired through many means of formal and informal learning, i.e., work experience, training, independent study, volunteer activities, travel, and hobbies. With PLA, someone with college-level learning acquired outside of the classroom can earn credit for their learning through a portfolio assessment. Next slide. The UWI Open Campus offers prior learning assessment to prospective learners who can demonstrate their relevant learning for entry into the Open Campus and again for academic credit. Interested learners enroll in an online prior learning assessment portfolio development course. And the course is offered pass or no pass. A course instructor works closely with learners to develop a learning portfolio, which documents their relevant experiential knowledge and skills. Next slide, please. The Open Campus offers two options for prior learning assessment: PLA for matriculation and PLA for advanced placement. PLA allows for possible matriculation or admission to the Open Campus, and for those who have already been accepted into the Open Campus and feel their skills and knowledge exceeds the stated learning outcomes of level 1 courses may seek PLA for advanced placement into their program of interest. Next slide, please. So what are the requirements for PLA for matriculation? Well, you have to be 18 years of age, 2 years experience post-CSET, possess non-formal, informal, or short-term training in the program area of interest, and demonstrate learning from experience in the subject areas approved for matriculation. Next slide, please. And you're probably wondering, what are the requirements for PLA for advanced placement? Well, you need to have reached the age of 21, working 5+ years, have relevant training workshops in the area of study, relevant learning from experience. Imagine earning 21 credits for 7 courses, 7 level 1 courses in 1 semester. Now that I know you're probably wondering what the subjects are for matriculation, admission, or programs for which PLA for advanced placement can be applied, They're on your screen: English, accounting, mathematics, principles of business, information technology, social studies, and integrated science. But again, for advanced placement, we're looking at BSc Banking Finance, accounting, B.Ed Early Childhood and Family Studies, the BSc Management Study, inclusive of all of the specializations, the BSc Youth Development Work, and the BSc Sports, hopefully coming 2021. Next slide. I know that you've heard some good information thus far, but you're probably wondering about the costs. Remember, there are two options for PLA: matriculation and advanced placement. The fee for each course is US $360, but you can pay in your local currency in your country. Each course runs 12 weeks in semesters 1 and 2. And during the course, students create a learning portfolio based on their general knowledge of their own learning and specific knowledge related to the courses they have chosen for comparable learning. At the end of the 12-week, the student portfolio is then assessed, and the student either earns entry into the open campus, matriculation, or advanced placement in their program of choice. Sounds easy, right? Next slide. So let me help you get started. In order for you to know more about PLA, either for advanced placement or matriculation, please visit our website. We have a wealth of information. Read through the information provided. And if you're still not sure, listen to the testimony of other persons who are much like yourself. Select the course or courses you would like to put forward for PLA. Remember that your learning should be comparable to the stated learning outcomes of each course. Complete the PLA pre-advising e-form, send your resume, or should I say detailed CV or curriculum vitae, to the PLA unit for pre-screening, and we will then advise if you are a good fit for PLA. Next slide, please. So what are some of the benefits? Because I know this is sounding really easy, right? You can have your knowledge documented, validated, recognized by the university. You're able to gain access to the university and earn credits for what you already know. You save time and money in earning your degree. You build your self-esteem and grow in confidence. You study online from the comfort of your own home. But if you're into travel, you can do that too. And you're able to continue your work or study towards reaching your educational goals, even in a pandemic. I know that you've heard a lot of information and you want to make a more informed choice. So reach out to the PLA unit at pla@open.uwi.edu. Remember that PLA is an option to assist you with converting your knowledge into credit. Send us an email or visit our website, www.open.uwi.edu/PLA, or you can email us again, pla@open.ue.edu. Hear from you soon.
Thank you so much, Monica. And I'm sure you have sparked some interest there. And obviously, we'll have lots of questions and a conversation with you later in the program. So that's prior learning assessment. I want to thank Monica so much for stopping by and for staying with us actually for the entire 2 hours of this program. As we move right along, I want to introduce Nisha Yearwood from the Continuing and Professional Education Center. Hi, Nisha.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Nisha Yearwood from the Continuing and Professional Education Center. It is a pleasure to be here this evening, and I'm just sending greetings to everyone joining from Facebook Live and YouTube. I hope that you have a very enjoyable evening and continue to enjoy the recruitment fair. And now I invite you to experience our CPE virtual booth.
Greetings and welcome to the Continuing and Professional Education Center's virtual booth. According to Stephen Mitchell, education is no longer thought of as a preparation for adult life, but as a continuing process of growth and development from birth until death. In this dynamic and ever-changing world, this ideology of catering to learners at various stages of their lifespan is a fundamental component of the UWI Open Campus's Continuing and Professional Education, or CPE, offerings. Through the development of policies, protocols, and guidance on CPE quality assurance, the CPE Center supports the development, redesign, and delivery of CPE offerings spearheaded by the various divisions, academies, and units of the campus. From school leaver to retiree, if you are seeking to advance in your career or just personal development, a CPE offering may be the answer for you. These offerings allow you to effectively learn and enhance your skill set and vary in duration from one-day workshops to one-year programs. CPE at the UWI Open Campus includes continuing education and professional education offerings. Our continuing education offerings are particularly designed at a pre-university and vocational level to cater to adults with no higher education qualifications and university certified individuals who are seeking to enhance their knowledge in a particular area and fulfill workforce development needs. Whereas our professional education offerings usually cater to professionals who are highly qualified and in most cases have an undergraduate or graduate degree. This is typically accomplished through seminars, workshops, and workforce development courses. Because we believe that learning never ends, upon completing the majority of our CPE offerings, our learners are awarded certificates with continuing education units, or CEUs. This internationally recognized measurement acknowledges the amount of time you have dedicated to courses and programs. This is of particular relevance to professions that require a specific number of continuing education hours per year. Ultimately, the goal is that whatever course you choose to pursue, what you learn today can have a positive impact on your academic and professional life in the future. And hopefully, all our CPE learners will feel as fulfilled as Ms. Dawn French, who completed the certificate in creative writing.
The classes were very interactive, but what was important was the assignments. So when we did the poetry component, we had to write poems. When we did the prose component, we had to write a short story. Out of that, I developed a character called Peanut, which has just like taken off because the very first story I did for the class assignment was called Peanut and the Storm. As I'm talking to you now, it has kind of spun out of control because I've got 65 of those stories now, and I sell them on the internet. I sell them to my friends. The kids love them because the kids, for the assignment, because it was the first time I was writing a children's story and it was targeting 8 to 12-year-olds, I had 8 to 12-year-olds vetted for me, as well as the facilitator and my classmates. As I said, since then I've done 65, and there's also a spin-off of it called Sabine, of which there are 16 in the set. So it has, the prose component had a heavy impact on me, as did the playwriting. It was the first time I'd written a play, and it was a class assignment. I gave it to a friend of mine who produces plays to look at it for me, and she gave me the feedback with the comment at the end, when you are finished, I want to produce this. So it has actually been produced for the stage with young people, got good reviews, and so these two items were a direct result of the Canadian government running this course with the Open Campus and me taking part.
Due to the economic impact of COVID-19 throughout the region physically and economically, the Open Campus aims to offer workshops at a low cost via the online modality to contribute to learning that can help us all cope and enhance our competency in this crucial time. This summer, from next week, June 29th to July 31st, for example, the campus will be offering a series of workshops on topics ranging from digital marketing and risk analysis to child psychology and CSET preparatory classes. In semester 1 2020, our online offerings will consist of certificates in transformational leadership to achieve the sustainable development goals in developing states and in NGO professional management. We invite you to check out our website and see if any of these offerings will meet your needs. We thank you for visiting the CPEC virtual booth for online offerings and encourage you to join us for the second recruitment fair on June 25th, 2020 to learn more about the wide range of CPE face-to-face offerings throughout the region via our open campus country sites. While we expect to offer these courses in that modality, as COVID-19 continues to linger in the air, we stand ready to continue to serve you through the offer of all our CPEs via the online modality. Regardless of the modality, we are here to serve you, and together we can achieve our goals.
Just like you, I have my concerns with COVID-19, the coronavirus. The uncertainty and how it can impact our lives is beyond measure. But as UE Open Campus students, I too was horrified by the news that classes would have been suspended, and the uncertainty around that in terms of how I would complete my course was very concerning to me. However, I am so delighted and comforted by the fact there is an online learning platform that could help to complete my studies. I want to encourage you to refocus your energies and channel it into completing your studies that you did sign up for. Access the online platform, reignite that zeal in you to give off your all. You have come this far in your course of studies, and this is an opportunity for you to complete it. I want to encourage you, ensure that you listen to all the advisories out there by the health officials, ensure you boost your system, and make sure you do whatever it takes to combat the spread of the coronavirus. I encourage you in this difficult time and hope that the online learning platform helps you in completing your studies. All the best and stay protected.
The UWI Open Campus, online, on-site, on demand. We are opening doors to life-changing learning.
Thank you so much, Nisha and the team from the CPE. And you heard it from two of our former students who their testimonials and how awesome it is to be studying and work at the open campus while you work. Well, we're going to give you the first set of entertainment this evening. We have a young man who is very talented. He performed at the Open Campus Got Talent, Open Campus Got Stars concert a couple of months ago. And he is here again this evening to entertain you and to warm your hearts. He is a student of the Open Campus, originally from St. Kitts and Nevis, now residing in beautiful Anguilla. I turn you over to none other than saxophonist, Mr. Trevor Quealy. Good evening, Trevor.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. As I mentioned, I am a current student and I'm enjoying it, and I hope you guys sign up. Don't forget the deadline. It's just around the corner, so don't waste any time. Get online. We're on site, on demand, UE Open Campus. Enjoy my performance this evening. Taking the time out to be with you and encourage you to be a part of the wonderful university in the Caribbean.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much, and continue being an open campus student. All the best with your studies. All right, moving right along, we move on now to another testimonial from Belize.
Hi, I'm Renisha Gentle, and I am the Communications and Public Relations Officer for the Belize chapter. But most importantly, I am a second-year political science major. Now, we often get the question, why the OC? Well, why not? An integral aspect that I have latched onto is being able to create my own unique schedule, and this has been quite beneficial, not only for academia, but for my interpersonal skills.
All right, there you have it from Ms. Gentles from Belize, encouraging you to become an open campus student. She said she's a second-year political science student. Up next is our representative from the Center for Social and Development Research, Mr. Dylan Doyle. Dylan, good evening. It's your time.
Good evening, Cleveland, and good evening, world. I am Dylan Doyle. I'll be doing a presentation for the Consortium Social Development and Research. The CSDR is a specialized unit within the UWI Open Campus. Next slide. We will start it off with a testimonial and some pictures from the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute. Now we're looking at right now is a brochure of some of our courses that the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute offers. Strategies for enhancing organizational productivity, certificate in labor studies, introduction to labor studies, and our customized training brochure that have our ad hoc workshops, training, and seminars.
It is said we're living in extraordinary times, and I'm sure many of you will agree. As learning and development becomes a central motif in the life of our citizens, the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute stands ready to support the needs of individuals and organizations that want to be in a constant state of readiness to succeed in a dynamic environment. With a slate of best-in-class facilitators, the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute understands that a unique learning environment that provides for a range of experiences is the ideal space for learning. So, if you're looking for a learning space that centers your lived experience in the context of your professional life, then your best bet is the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute.
Philip Lewis, Manager Industrial Relations. My association with the Hugh Shearer Labor Studies Institute spans well over a decade, with my first interaction being in 2006, when my colleagues and I from the West Indies Alumina Company participated in its Certificate in Labor Studies program. Since then, countless others have benefited from the various training interventions conducted by the Institute, which remain a valued partner to several organizations. Over the years, the Institute continued to provide impactful training interventions. Its faculty and staff remain professional and competent. Its recent webinar on labor implications post-COVID-19 was both timely and relevant. Continue to keep up the good work.
I want to thank Dr. Henry Campbell and Mr. Lewis there for their testimonials. Now we're looking at some of our flagship courses. We have a postgraduate diploma in industrial relations, and we hope to have that available in January 2021. We have the strategies for enhancing organizational productivity, which is a 10-week program. And we have the certificate in labor studies and introduction to labor studies and the customized training program. So as I said, the strategies for organizational productivity 10 to 13 weeks, and is designed for persons who are already in the labor force. Specifically, we're looking at managers, supervisors, team leaders, union delegates in the public and private sector. We aim to create what we call productivity champions who will lead the charge to increase productivity and efficiency in their workplaces. The aim is to create productivity champions who will lead and increase productivity and efficiency in the workplace, right, as we said before. Next slide. Our customized ad hoc workshops or customized programs enable us to create training solutions that are specific to the needs of our clients. It affords us the flexibility to be creative and address the nuances that only affects that particular institution. These customized training solutions allow us to serve a number of public and private sector entities, and we formalize these arrangements with them through memorandums of understandings. And the intervention is usually structured to complement the company's daily and overall operations. So some of the things that are covered under these customized training programs and workshops are the grievance procedure and conflict management, understanding of the Jamaican labor laws, introduction to industrial relations, occupational safety and health, workplace bullying, the art of successful negotiation, emotional intelligence, sexual harassment, and decent work. So for the summer 2020, these are the programs that we have coming up. We have emotional intelligence workshop in July, sexual harassment sensitization in August. We have a post how to draft your contracts, employment contract post-COVID, also in July, and applying the Jamaican labor laws in August. Next slide. So some of the organizations that we would have worked with over the years: the Caribbean Cement Company Limited, National Continental Baking Company, Ministry of Gender and Entertainment and Sports, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, the University Hospital of the West Indies, and the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, and the Electoral Office of Jamaica. The Introduction and Certificate to Labor Studies courses, 10 weeks. That's the introduction course is 10 weeks and is a precursor to the Certificate in Labor Studies course. The ILS offers introductory aspects of the discipline of industrial relations and prepare the students for deeper engagement. It is offered over a 2-day period over the course of 1 semester. The CLS, on the other hand, is one of the foundational courses that the Institute was built on. Right? It was designed to provide professional training in labor studies, and students are expected to have some knowledge of labor relations before taking this particular course. We're a multifaceted institute, so we have seminars and forums, and we host these forums and seminars quarterly, and their forums are to discuss important public issues that might affect public policy in Jamaica and also to the wider Caribbean. The Institute also have an outreach arm that deals with philanthropic activities through the wider community, especially surrounding the university campus in Kingston, Jamaica. So if you need to get in contact with us, you can contact us at our email address, which is on screen, or our telephone number, and you can check out our Facebook page at Hugh Shearer Labor Institute. Next slide. So one of the other units within the CSDR is the Social Work Training and Research Center, SWTRC for short. And the courses, some of the courses offered by the SWTRC is the Introduction to Social Work, Report Writing for Social Workers, Counseling Techniques for Helping Professionals, Suicide and Trauma Sensitization Workshops, and coming soon, we want to have the Community Mental Health First Responders course. So for summer 2020, Wellness and Wellbeing Workshop will be on June 24. We have a grant writing workshop for July. A date is not set as yet. and participatory action research, public lecture, and workshop also in August. So other areas of focus for the SWTRC, we provide tailored training in introduction to research techniques and methodologies, working with groups with disabilities, introduction to monitoring and evaluation, human services and family life, and how to work with the elderly. The SWTRC also boasts an online programs. The center is an open campus country site, and you can select one of our many online graduate or undergraduate programs as your site. The SWTRC will provide one-on-one academic guidance throughout your period of study. Again, if you want to contact, or when you contact the SWTRC, you can do so at the email address on screen, or you can just hit us up at the telephone number. Thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
And thank you so much, Dylan, from the Consortium for Social and Development Research, part of the Open Campus family based there at the Mona campus in Jamaica. And we are so happy to have you with us. I mean, and so many programs that you offer. We can speak in a little bit more depth about those programs when we get to the question and answer segment. Just want to remind you that you can send your questions and queries in the Facebook or the YouTube chat, and our colleagues are there to respond to you immediately with the answers to ensure that you have the information that you need to complete the application. We're going to get to the application process. We're going to take you through our Learning Exchange, which is the platform that is used to deliver our program. So stay tuned. But coming up right now from Jamaica, but based in the Turks and Caicos Islands, another performer who graced the stages of the Open Campus Got Stars just about 2 months ago. Welcome, Miss Christine McCann. Good night, Christine, and welcome. Take it over.
Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm not much of a talker. I hope you enjoy the song. It's All of Me, John Legend. What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride. And I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, I can't feel down. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. It's all of me, loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I'm losing, winning. Just give you all of me. You give me all of you. Oh. How many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every move. You're my downfall. You're my muse. My words, distractions, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing. It's ringing in my head for you. It's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me. Give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose and win, 'cause I give you all of me. And you give me all of you. Oh, give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts. Risking it though it's hard. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me. Give my all to you. You're my end and my beginnings. When you lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me. And you give me all of you. I give you all of me. And you give me all of you. Oh.
Thank you so much, Christine John Legend, one of my favorites of all time performers. Beautiful song, beautiful singing. And Christine, we hope you can join us next week, Thursday evening as well, when we bring the day 2 of the Open Campus online recruitment fair. Okay, thank you so much and have a good evening. And thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, on our Facebook and our YouTube channel for joining us this evening. And right now, we're going to bring you another testimonial. We're going to go all the way to Central America in Belize.
Hi, my name is Alexa Rodriguez, and I am from the Belize UA Open Campus. I am currently pursuing an associate's degree in paralegal studies. I chose UA as my place of study as it is the only tertiary level institution within the country of Belize to offer paralegal studies. UA has a diverse student body and also offers globally accredited courses and degrees.
All right, there you go. You hear it from Alexis Rodriguez, and she is there in Belize. She is a part of the UWI Open Campus country site in Belize. And the UWI Open Campus has sites in 16 Caribbean countries. And all of those sites will be on with us next week, Thursday, same time, same place here at the UWI Open Campus Facebook page, the UWI Open Campus YouTube channel, and they will be telling you all about the exciting and unique programs that they offer at their country sites right across the Caribbean. There are 42 of those sites across the Caribbean, from Belize in Central America to Barbados and down to Trinidad and Tobago, all the way up to the Turks and Caicos and Jamaica. So just to remind you again that you can submit your questions and queries in the Facebook and YouTube chat, and our colleagues are there to respond to you. We'll also be taking some of those questions in the question and answer segment at the end of our presentation. So thank you so much for staying with us. And coming up next, it's the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And with us this evening is none other than Roger Watts. So Roger, it's over to you. All right. I'm not hearing or seeing our colleague Roger. Are you there, Roger? If not, David, I'll ask you to just do one of our fillers for the time being until we're able to get Roger up and running. So stay tuned. Coming up, the Open Campus Academy of Sport, and they will be bringing their presentation momentarily. Also to come is the registry department as well, and they have lots of information for you, as well as a demonstration of our Learning Exchange. And the Learning Exchange is the platform on which the Open Campus delivers all of its online programs. All right. And we are still awaiting our colleague from the Open Campus Academy of Sport. David Foster, if you can bring us one of our fillers in the meantime, and then it will give Sherry some time to move to the other presentation, which will be that of the registry until we can get back to Roger. All right, so while we transition to the registry department, presenting for the registry this evening is none other than Miss Keisha Campbell. Keisha, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Cleveland, and good evening, everyone. Now that you have heard about all of the very interesting and exciting programs, online programs offered by the UWI Open Campus, it is my pleasure to give you an overview of our online application process, the one that you would need to follow in order to apply for one of those programs. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. So to begin the process, of course, you would need to have a computer and a reliable internet connection. Once you do, you, of course, go to a browser, open up a browser page, and you have two options. You can visit our website at www.open.uwi.edu, click on Apply to UE, and there you would see that nice green Apply Now button. Or in that bar, when you open your browser, you can simply type in apply.open.uwi.edu. In terms of the next step, I want us to take a quick look at this video, which of course will show you how you go about creating your application account and log in to the actual admissions portal. So if we can go to the video on the next slide, please.
Welcome. This video will show you how to complete the UWI Open Campus application process. To begin an application for the first time, you must create a new account. In the box highlighted, you must input your email, select a username, and select a numeric 6-digit PIN. You will receive an email confirmation that the account has been created along with credentials for accessing the application area. You must then navigate over to the login box and input the username and PIN selected in the previous step. Select the site that you wish to be attached to. The programs available under each site and their levels will vary, so be sure that you select the correct site to then locate your program and level of study. The application procedure is a 12-step process. Information that you must enter is marked with a red asterisk. At any point, you can click Finish Later, exit the application portal, and return at a later date and continue where you left off. The checklist button can be used to verify all information before clicking the Continue button and moving on to the next section of the application. You can also select Return to Checklist without saving changes. As you complete the application, take note of the following sections. In Section 2, you also have the ability to select a second program, minor, or concentration for consideration. Finally, in Section 8, where you input your high school information, you can use the Look Up High School Code link at the top of the page to expedite the data entry in this section. Select the country your school is in, the city, and the school's name. You may also need to fill out any missing information not entered by this process. As long as you have completed all sections of the application process, you will see each section as completed. You will then be presented with our agreement page, which seeks to confirm that all information entered is true. If yes, click I agree to the terms. The acknowledgement page will then show you your application summary, links to the application tracking area, and an application receipt button. You are required to click on the application receipt button, print, and sign it. Then you are expected to take the application receipt and all supporting documents into the UWI Open Campus site that you signed up for. After you have completed all steps above, you will be required to return to this application portal to track the status of your application. You have now successfully applied to the UWI Open Campus. The UWI Open Campus, online, on-site, on demand.
Thank you. Next slide, please. So once you have completed that aspect of the process and you have downloaded your application receipt, you sign, as indicated in the video, you affix a passport size picture to that. And of course, there are documents that we need you to submit for us to verify that you have met the requirements for the program that you have applied for. So apart from that application receipt, we would of course need a proof of identification from you. That could take the form of either your birth certificate or a valid passport or valid national identification card. For the ladies who are married, of course, because your name would have changed from what's on your birth certificate, of course, we would need you to supply us with a copy of your marriage certificate and, of course, your academic certificate. Next slide, please. In addition to that, official transcripts are very important, in particular for those of you who might be interested in pursuing our graduate programs. All right, official transcripts must be sent directly to the Open Campus Admissions Department via email from the granting institution. All right, apart from that, for graduate applicants or persons seeking entry into our postgraduate programs, you need to supply us with 2 referee reports. And for those, of course, who may not have English as their native language, you need to have the TOEFL, right? And a score of 500 or greater is preferred. Next slide. Okay, so you now know the documents that you would require in order to have that application fully completed. But of course, you have to get it to us, right? We have various options for you to submit your documents. In the case of regional applicants, that's for those of you who are based within the Caribbean, in a country in which we have a physical presence, and by we I mean the UE Open Campus, you have the option of taking both a copy and your original documents to one of our centers. And I know you're saying take a copy in the time of COVID. I know in some territories, our sites have begun reopening on a phased basis, of course. So in cases like that, you can make contact with the site to determine whether, of course, they are open and that you can visit and have your documents submitted and verified by the office. If you are able to do that, it should be noted that your original documents will not be kept. The person there, they will do a verification on the copies that you submit and return to you your original documents. In the case of international applicants, this is a group of persons that reside outside of the region in which we have no physical presence. All right, you have the option, of course, or in fact, you have one option in terms of submitting notarized copies of your supporting documents to our virtual international student office. VISO, as we refer to it, at viso@open.uwi.edu. Irrespective of where you are, you also have the option of emailing your documents directly to us. And you can do so by simply submitting, if you are applying for one of our undergraduate programs, you can send it to undergraduate@open.uwi.edu, or if you're applying for a postgraduate program, to graduate@open.uwi.edu. We do understand that movement is still relatively restricted in some territories. So if you are unable to get your documents verified or notarized, and this is the method that you plan to use, it is advised that you take a good, clean copy of your documents, whether it's via your phone, if you have a scanner or so, and you submit that via email. We have made provisions for this, so we can start the process of reviewing your application with those unnotarized documents. However, we do need the notarized or verified copies of your documents. And so you have until July 31st to submit your verified copies. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Right. Thank you. All right, so we have dealt with how you go about applying, how you submit your documents, and to wrap it up, I just want to give you a little reminder for those of you who are interested in starting one of those very exciting online programs with us, which begins in August of 2020, at the end of August. We do encourage you to remember the dates. June 30th is the deadline at this time for persons interested in applying for our postgraduate programs. July 15th is the deadline set for our undergraduate applications. All right, so as I close, I want to really thank you for listening. And of course, you see that green button at the bottom there? I want you right after this session to click on it and get started. We're not procrastinating this year, COVID-19 or not. All right, so thank you again for listening. And of course, post your questions via Facebook or YouTube, and we will seek to answer them. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Keisha, for a great presentation as usual. And of course, you will stay with us for the rest of the online fair. I'm sure there'll be questions and queries about application as well as the admissions process and so on. We have our colleague from the Open Campus Academy of Sport is back with us now, Mr. Roger Watts. So we're gonna invite Roger to present. We'll just give us a couple of seconds so that we can change the presentation back to where the Open Campus Academy of Sport presentation is located. In the meantime, I would ask David if he can just give us one of the placeholders while Cherise gets the presentation to OCAS. David, can you give us one of the placeholders? Roger, good evening.
Good evening, colleagues. Sorry, I got a little mixed up in the time.
All right, can you just stand by for us while we line up your presentation?
Sure. A little too far back. Yeah, that one. Great. Good evening, colleagues. Do I start now?
Yes, Persian.
Okay, well, I see we have 16 participants. I'm not sure who they are, but good evening, everyone, and welcome to this historic online recruitment fair. And thank you, Cleveland, and your staff and colleagues for allowing us to present. We are the UWI Open Campus Academy of Sport, the newest faculty in the university, the brainchild of Sir Hilary Beckles. And we have an amazing story to tell. So we could begin. In front of you is our dearly beloved principal, Dr. Luz Longsworth, with some of our athletes at the intercampus games. And we have, how should I say, a reputation of being the most highly spirited group of sport participants UWI has ever known. So that's just giving you a taste of what we represent. We're the hummingbirds, the UWI hummingbirds. So more about OCAS. OCAS has been set up. You can see my screen. I hope my camera is not interfering. Maybe I can turn it off and while I speak. So we are what you would call the Open Campus Academy of Sport has as its mission grassroots sports development, and what we're doing is serving the UE 14. What does the UE 14 mean? It represents those Caribbean countries that don't have landed campuses. So there are 3 Caribbean countries that have landed campuses: Jamaica, Mona in Jamaica, Cayville in Barbados, and St. Augustine in Trinidad. So 3 plus 14 will make the UE 17. So minus those 3 with landed campuses, the Open Campus Academy of Sport main mission is to serve those campuses through our online programming primarily and our face-to-face continuing professional education programming. In a form of distance education is where we've come from. And so we're an intra-regional institution, and we liaise with the various ministries through our head, Mr. Kervin Jean, who's from St. Lucia. He's traveled the Caribbean extensively, liaising with various ministry officials and national sporting organizations to preach the message of the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And we're here to enable various territories in reaching their sports potential. Essentially, this is the mission that's been mandated by Sir Hilary Beckles to bring sports science to bear on what has been the very obvious talent of the Caribbean people, to bear on replicating our successes in international cricket in all sports and bringing international and cricket back to its rightful place. So that's what we're set up to do. So we can go to the next slide. About OCAS, what we do, we're set up to develop and deliver academic programs. As I've said, we partner with sporting organizations across the Caribbean. We have planning, coordination, and management in terms of bringing those capacities to bear in partnering with organizations. Our head has come from a policy background and governance background, so he is preaching the mantra of policy development across the Caribbean and for countries to have good policy in terms of governing structures that would help frame sports delivery and programs. We do market research and analysis, a lot of consultation, and we've met with primary and secondary school stakeholders in terms of aligning our sports programs to meet the needs of sport practitioners, sports educators, and we're doing that all with the intention of expanding our sports program delivery throughout the region and making it culturally relevant and relevant to the region. So these are the things we're doing, we've set about doing, and we're doing on a daily basis. Thank you. Next slide, please. How we do it? Well, we're the newest kids on the block, so to speak. The open campus is 10 years old, and the faculty less than that. I mean, the faculty is newer than that, but what we've done is through our academic and technical sport programming, we have developed programs. We have these 3 new BSc programs, which I'll talk about shortly. That's what our primary focus is at the moment, is our academic BSc programming. But we also have set up workshops and seminars. We've done activities and outreach, primarily through Cricket West Indies and the women's cricket team, which you'll see some pictures about. And we've helped coordinate the inter-campus games and the staff games as events. So we're developing our capacities in event management, activities, outreach, workshops, and seminars. And I can tell you a bit more about those later on. You'll see some examples of those pictures later on in this presentation. Next slide. As I said before, we have currently developed 3 new BSc programs which started in the academic year 2019-2020. They are a BSc in Sport Kinetics, a BSc in Sport Coaching, and a BSc in Sport Leadership and Management. They are currently, you could call them our flagship programs, and we have just been fortunate to get a beautiful cohort of sports practitioners, of coaches and educators across the Caribbean who are actively engaged in their national sporting programs and their national sporting organizations that primarily because they're working practitioners, they don't have the time to come to the brick and mortar campus, and they're remotely located. So the online delivery of these 3 new programs is very convenient, and they're marrying the practical knowledge and their experiential knowledge of their work environment with the theory that we're learning. And it's a very practical based programs insofar as we're marrying theory with what's existing on the ground in various Caribbean locations. The BSc Sport and Physical Literacy was just approved this year by BUS. It's a 2+2 program in the sense that we have a 2-year associate degree, which will lead into a 2-year bachelor's degree. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we have a long legacy program, a long existing legacy program, which originally existed to train physical education teachers in Trinidad, which is in the process of being transitioned to the Open Campus Academy of Sport, but which has trained a whole cadre of physical education teachers over the years, and continues to be a flagship program which allows secondary school leavers and practitioners to matriculate to BSc programs, not only our BSc programs, but BSc programs around the world. But it exists in Trinidad for the moment, but we revised it, and we hope to be able to deliver it across the region. Like, we can tell you more about that. So the BSc Sports Kinetics is for those people interested in sport movement and sports science. It's supposed to introduce coaches, athletes, and sports scientists and sports enthusiasts to the science behind movement and a high athletic performance. It will provide a foundation for those wishing to become biomechanics, sport nutritionists, sports physiologists, experts in athletic training. The program also exposes persons to other emerging fields. It's your traditional sports science program, which we rebranded as a Sports Kinetics. And it's an amazing program, and by all reports and evaluations, the students who are in it are loving it. They can't speak highly enough of it, and we're inviting you to spread the word about the BSc in Sports Kinetics. For those of you who want to know more, at the end of the presentation, there's some contact information, but hopefully this might be an opportunity for you to spread the word about this amazing program in so far as it's available as a sports performance program online. And a special feature of it is that we have biomechanics labs, which will be conducted in our sister academy in Cave Hill, the Cave Hill Academy of Sports. So for 1 week in the level 2 courses, the 2 biomechanics level 2 courses, we can afford students a kind of education tourism, if you will, where you spend a week in the beautiful island of Barbados in our Cave Hill Academy of Sport to conduct, get the required credits for just, I think it's 18 credits for the level 3 and 10 credits hours for the level 2 biomechanics program in our lab. So it's a blended program for the most part online, but for the biomechanics courses, we have that blended component insofar as students can spend time in Barbados in our biomechanics labs, which are state of the art and have been responsible for producing athletes like Jason Holder, West Indies cricket captain, who went through the sports lab programs in Barbados. And we can talk more about that. Next slide. Our next flagship program is a BSc in Sport Coaching. It provides students with an opportunity to combine their practical knowledge with sports coaching theory. The Open Campus Academy of Sport views the study of sport coaching as facilitating an integrative understanding of sport coaching theory within the dynamic context of Caribbean and global sport coaching practices. What does this mean? Essentially, we respect your experiential knowledge. We do have opportunities for lower level matriculation insofar as students who have O levels with existing certificates can come in who have been practitioners but without opportunities to gain baccalaureate degree certification to come in and bring that experiential knowledge to bear on marrying with the theory of coaching. And again, the level 1 closely mirrors the sports kinetics program, and then it deviates somewhat in level 2 and 3, where you begin to specialize more in coaching theory. And I can guide you to the website in terms of the programs to take a look at the breakdown of the courses. But this is also an amazing program and one that is in demand and again is in keeping with our mandate to bring sports science to bear on the way we do things. And so the BSc in Sport Coaching is worth looking at for practitioners in sport who are interested in marrying their experiential knowledge and with the theory. Next program. The next program is organic in the sense that it was proposed by the Open Campus Academy of Sport. It originated in the Open Campus Academy of Sport and is our first bona fide program to distinguish what has been in large part a host of other sport management programs around the world. We distinguish it by focusing on leadership, leadership to combine in the Caribbean. We come from disparate islands with unique cultures, and so bringing teams together in the model of the West Indies cricket team takes a certain amount of leadership, and so we view ourselves in the Open Campus Academy of Sport as the true Caribbean campus, in the sense that our disparate islands have to come together and require leadership. So that program offers that leadership curriculum. The sport and physical literacy, I said, is our newest program. It was developed for a client in St. Lucia, the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. and will be delivered in September to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and will be open to applications to students who are not in the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, but there is a cap of 30 students. So it's going to be restricted to 30 and maybe 34. But we do hope to open it up beyond the initial client offering. Our certificate in physical education, again, is our legacy program. It's been with us for years in our incarnation as the School of Continuing Studies. It's there still, and students are still using it as an avenue to access baccalaureate degree programs, either our baccalaureate degree programs or further afield. A lot of students use it to get to England and Jamaica to do physical therapy. So it is an opportunity for students. It's a 2-year evening face-to-face program where people who work can go in the evening and do that program. Upcoming programs are swimming and life-saving certificate, which we're developing with the Trinidad and Tobago Life Saving Association. We have a sport broadcasting certificate program that's coming up. We have MSc in sport analytics, MSc in sport tourism, recreation and fitness management, MSc in sport technology. So these are upcoming programs which will allow for people who've completed our baccalaureate degree programs to go on to master's degree programs. Why should you choose OCAS? Holistic experiential learning. You bring what you already know as practitioners and in your passion for sport to bear in terms of marrying your experiential knowledge with the theory. We have virtual teams and special projects, sport development, team development, student games representation. You get an opportunity to be part of a regional team. You have access to qualified sports administrators and educators that will provide tutelage and hands-on knowledge transfer. So it's really a wonderful online platform that can allow you to remain in your practice and access theoretical underpinnings for what you do. In terms of our extracurricular activities, we have student competitions, inter-campus games, outreach events, our OC Moves Fitness Challenge. And at these times of COVID, we've been developing multimedia approaches to physical fitness, and we can tell you more about that in the upcoming slides. So here are our contingent at the student games in Cave Hill, with always the most vibrant, the most colorful. Students all will be outfitted in their polo, bright orange polos and their tracksuits. So we're always hard to miss as a contingent. This is us at the Inter-Campus Games in 2017, which were held in Cave Hill. And this is our rocker self in the Mona Games. If you could press the video. So as you can see, the other contingents are a little more reserved and a little somewhat overwhelmed by us, but we have this opportunity to come together from our disparate territories, and we make the most of it. We also have teams that exist in some of our sites. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have a volleyball team that did very well and is currently running first in the All Sectors League. It came second in the tertiary league in Trinidad. We managed to fly in some of our regional team players to play. We also have an open campus football team that came third in the tertiary league and is currently this video of a very, very committed group of youngsters who came third in the tertiary league and is scheduled to tour Barbados to play against a Russell Latipi 11 in Cave Hill. So we're all looking forward to that, the vagaries of COVID-19 permitting. So that's kind of thrown the tour into some uncertainty. This is an example of our Cricket West Indies outreach event in Antigua, where our women's cricket team provided an amazing experience for young female prospective cricketers. And so we're doing a lot in terms of recognizing the successes of the women's cricket team. Here is a little outreach program we did in San Fernando, Trinidad for summer kids and primary school kids, introducing them to sports. That was a huge success, and the youngsters are all eager to represent their heroes, Caribbean heroes. And like I said, the OC Moves is a new initiative by our activities assistant and officer to allow students remotely to continue to get fit and lose weight. So we have these audio visual presentations via the internet where you log on and keep in shape. You can contact us by the Open Learning Center. If you could keep this up, our email ocas@open.ue.edu, and that's our phone number there. Please feel free to contact us if you have any further questions. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present, and I hope I wasn't too long-winded.
Thank you very much, Roger, from the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And of course, if you have questions and queries for Roger, you can put them in the chat on WhatsApp, on the YouTube or the Facebook site. Right now, we're going to go right into a presentation by Kevin, and he is going to take you on a tour of the Learning Exchange that, as I said earlier, it is the platform that is used to deliver all of the online courses. So I now ask Kevin to share his screen and take you on that journey. Kevin?
Thank you very much, Cleveland. I hope you can see my screen. All right, so it really is a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. Good night, everyone. I'm going to give you a brief tour of our Learning Exchange and our student portal. As the world stood still, the educational world stood still with COVID-19, the Open Campus just kept on moving, our wheels kept on turning. And this is because we operate online. We operate anywhere at any time. Any device that you have, you can access our courses, can access our services. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview of our interface. So all students get a username and a password, and they log into our student portal. And what you're seeing on the screen here is a quick look at our student portal. I'm logged in as a test student. And from this dashboard, you'll realize that it is fully customizable. You can make changes to make it feel as your own. But the key parts of this dashboard is our quick links. And from our quick links, you have access to our Learning Exchange, your email, our OCE portfolio, and this is our online space where we use for reflective teaching and learning, but we've realized that this has mushroomed into a social space because it does have that social aspect of it. So you can interact with students, colleagues from throughout the Caribbean and the world using this e-portfolio space. So you're not restricted to persons in your programs and in your courses, all right? We also have access to your library from this dashboard, and all our resources are online. You have access to journals, etc., right from the comfort of your home, okay? And you realize that our announcement is pretty busy at this point in time, and that's because we are in full swing with our third semester. You notice that we also have access to software, so students get access to software, licensed software you can download and have access to. So whatever is available and is needed for your particular course and program, you will have access to right from your dashboard, okay? But let's jump to the Learning Exchange. And this Learning Exchange, this is where all our teaching and learning actually happens. Oops, got a little error message here, but I had a quick screen waiting. So once you come to the Learning Exchange, you are presented with a list of courses that you have been registered for. And once you click on one of those courses, you get into the course. Our courses are laid out pretty similar for all our undergrad programs and pretty similar for our postgraduate programs. I'm going to show you two of these today. Right, so this is a particular undergraduate program. We have this three-frame layout. Main content is at the center. And we always start off with a welcome from our facilitators, our course coordinators, our main instructors normally give a welcome, normally give a video to really greet our students coming into this space. And as we progress down, it's a sequential type layout. So as we progress down, you'll notice we have all these comments and activity actually happening here. And the week only started, this semester only started this week. But as you scroll down, we come to our learning modules. And every week we are separated by weeks, and you get access to material, the units for those weeks. You get access to interactions with your facilitators, interactions with your fellow classmates, etc. We also, within our learning exchange, we have a synchronous meeting room, which is essentially a live meeting room so that you can have those live sessions with your facilitators. So, and this is already integrated into our learning exchange. I'd also like to mention at this point, our environment is fully mobile ready. You can access our interfaces using any one of your devices, your telephone. You can have a rich experience using your telephone, using your laptops, using your iPads. We also have a learning exchange app, mobile app. So you can actually operate using that app experience. So we've catered for a full online experience. Our main benefit is really the way we've built all these systems and integrate them and allow them to work for you as a student. And we've trained our teaching staff to be able to navigate this environment as well as be able to deliver content within this environment. And when you come into the campus, you are oriented, you're trained, you're taught how to use our online system. So you don't move from a face-to-face type operations, which normally happens within the region and have been happening around the world, into our online space. We move you into this online space with a hand-holding session, training, orientation. So as soon as you apply, as soon as you get accepted, you start that orientation process. All right, so this is a quick walkthrough. You know, I really can't give you a full overview of our full courses. Let me just flip to another one. And this is a coordinator who would have put up a welcome video and really humanize that space for students. And this is a Spanish course, and we do teach Spanish online. We have live interactions within the Spanish course. So you're not learning theory only, you're actually learning to practice and speak Spanish in this particular course. So these are just two courses. Cleveland, I'm gonna hand back over to you. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. As usual, very informative presentation from our colleague, Kevin Ramsobag from APAD, and taking us through the learning exchange. And you can see how exciting, how intuitive, very simple, easy to use. All right, so that brings us to the end of the presentations and all of our testimonials and demonstration. So now we're gonna take your questions and hopefully we can provide you with the answers and the clarification that you are seeking about our programs. And I know that the chat on the YouTube page as well as the Facebook page, both of them have been pretty busy. So I have some questions here for our team. Are you guys ready? All right, so the first has to do with international students, and I'm gonna ask my colleague Keisha Campbell, how do we deal with international students? Two perspectives, the question asking. One, how do they apply as international students? And secondly, is there a cost differential for international students as opposed to students from the Caribbean? Keisha.
Hi, Cleveland. All right. So as it pertains to payment, we have what we call the regional rates as well as international rates. In the case of regional, in fact, how we assign the rate code in the system is based on your citizenship. Persons who benefit from the region is not only based on the fact that you're here or in a country, that you know the UE has a presence, but it's actually based on your citizenship. If you are a citizen of a country which is a UE contributing country, you are able to benefit from the regional rates. All right. So you could be living in Jamaica, but your citizenship is in the US, you would be required to pay the international rates. All right, unless you prove that you are a citizen of Jamaica, which is a UE contributing country. In the case of our international students, the international rate, sorry, that of course would be for all persons whose citizenship does not fall within the UE contributing countries. All right, so in terms of the cost for an international applicant or student, sorry, a 1 credit course would cost you $190 US. A 3 credit course, $570 US, and this is for persons who are doing undergraduate programs. In the case of those of you who are interested in pursuing our postgraduate programs, the cost, the international rates are as follows. If you're pursuing a 1 credit, and I don't believe there are any 1 credits really at that level, it's $350 US. For a 3 credit course, at the undergraduate level, it's $1,050 US. A 4 credit course, $1,400. All right, and a 6 credit at that level, $2,100 US. And you can find this information as well on our website by going to admissions and financial information so that you could sit and look at the document a little more closely. Okay. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Keisha, for that information. And just to let people know that we do have students, international students. There's also an international student office at the Open Campus, isn't it? Isn't it, Keisha?
Yes, there is. What can I say? The site coordinator, if I could call her that, Miss Ingrid Campbell. She is based in Jamaica. She falls under the registry, the Student Services Department. I don't know if she's in the room. She may want to say something and share with our prospective applicants.
So we are paying specific attention to our international applicants. Yeah, I don't think Ingrid is here with us this evening, but thank you very much for that information, Keisha. And of course, they can find all of the information online. Keisha, I think some of these other questions are for you and the registry as well, so you probably want to stick around a while. With respect to payment plans, we have a question about payment plans. Any information on how the payment plans work?
Okay, I could just give you some basic information. Generally, you have 3 payments within the semester. So you have to pay at least 1/3 at one stage early in the registration process, and then you have a period of time within that semester to pay off your 2nd and your 3rd tranche. This particular arrangement is usually coordinated through our site offices, but of course, with the introduction of COVID, we've had to make some changes. So our finance office now has everything basically online. So someone who's interested, who has been accepted into a program and is interested in a payment plan, they can visit the student portal once they've been accepted, and they can make their request through that system for consideration.
Okay, Keisha, another question for you. I don't know if Alicia is here and she can help you, but what is meant by specially admitted students?
Okay, so a specially admitted student is a non-UE student. So you are not registered on any of the UWI campuses, all right? And you are interested in pursuing just a few courses with us, maybe 1 course for professional development or so on. That is what is classified basically as a specially admitted person. You have the option of applying in any of the semesters that we have. To pursue those courses, you have to, of course, follow the same application process that I would have showed during the presentation. We have converted the paper-based to an online process, and we hope to, of course, continue it that way. So you submit that application, that online application, during the period that the portal will be open to accept special admission applications. And then, of course, you submit your supporting documents to one of the 2 email addresses that we have. All right.
All right,
and
Keisha.
Yes.
Thanks. I'm going to give you a break, but I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to go to my colleague from APAD, Mrs. Williams Davis. What type of assessment Williams Davis are generally our students expected to do since this is an online university campus? Cheryl?
Okay, Cleveland, I could probably take it if Cheryl isn't on.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, Kevin, of course, you're from APAD as well.
We have a wide array of assessments that we do online. We have quizzes, we have live quizzes, we have assignments that persons submit into the system. Actually, for COVID, what we had to do was actually move to an alternative assessment situation, because we normally have face-to-face sit-down exams at the end of the semester. However, the Open Campus was able to quickly move to online and administer all our assessment online using our learning exchange. So students can submit assignments. We have discussion forums. We use these as assessment tools as well. So we have many different ways that we do assessment online. It's not just restricted to a single approach or a single type of assessment. So it's really based on what we want to do, what we want the learning to be. And that's how we work with the assessment. And our material is constantly being revised, constantly being reviewed to make sure that these assessments are relevant and up to the time. So I hope that helps.
Certainly does help, Kevin. Dylan from our consortium, how are you doing, Dylan? We have a question for you with respect to the courses that you outlined. Are these courses restricted to persons in Jamaica, or persons throughout the region can participate in these courses?
All right, so currently, thank you. I was off for a little bit. I just came back on. Thank you for the question. All right, so currently the courses are restricted to Jamaica because before COVID, we pretty much operated a face-to-face environment. But going forward, we're looking to make our courses available online. So to that extent, when we do, certainly we will make the take appropriate actions for them to be available across the region.
Very much. For our colleague from Open Campus Academy of Sports, during your presentation, you mentioned that there's some of the BSc in sport may have specializations. Can you just briefly explain what these specializations are?
Well, the specializations are inbuilt in the program. So you have a sports science specialization, which is our sports kinetics program, and those are for people who want to go on. It's like a research track. And sports coaching is more of a practitioner's track for people who work in our sports performance environments, high performance environments. And then we have our sport and physical literacy, which is more of an educational track for persons who teach in secondary and secondary O-level and A-level CAPE. It's mostly geared towards educators. So the programs are not don't have specializations per se. They're built into the separate programs. They target different.
All right, and you also mentioned minors for one of the tracks.
Oh yes, sorry. There are minors built into our sport leadership and management program. And there's a minor in facilities management and a minor in recreational management. But there is supposed to be one in sport tourism management as well, which we should have available shortly. We were supposed to have it from the start, but we need to tweak it somewhat. So yes, there is the possibility of having minors in the sport leadership, BSc sport leadership and management program.
Thank you very much, Roger. Kisha, I'm back to you. This question is coming both from YouTube as well as Facebook, so it must be a very popular issue. Students who are sitting exams in July, August, as you know, the CSEC and CAPE exams are now in July, August. Can they register and submit their documents when they get their results, or do they have to apply for the January intake? Kisha, can you take that?
Sure. I would suggest that persons submit their application now, submit the supporting documents that are currently available to them, like their birth certificate and so on. If they're doing CSEC and CAPE, you know, they may still need to await the final documents there, but they should submit. What we would do, depending on the timing of the release of the results, especially for the CSEC group, that's the CXC group, what we can do, of course, is look at the timing depending on when the results are published. We will have to make a determination on whether it's in the person's best interest to give them an offer if they qualify for September or for January instead, right? In the case of the CAPE students, provisions have been made already by the university. So persons who, of course, would have met their CSEC, the CSEC requirements, but would have passed at least 2 CAPE courses at level 1 or 2, grades 1 to 4. Those persons, we recommend as well that they submit, all right, for consideration for semester 1. Hope that answers the question.
Certainly does. Just to emphasize, for the CAPE students, once they have had their CAPE 1 results, we are going to accept them based on CAPE 1 results, yes?
CAPE 1, yes. Once they have 2 and over, and of course they have a passing grade between 1 and 4, right?
Okay.
Consideration would be given for that group.
Excellent. My colleague from PLA, Monica, how does the different types of PLA work? Can you briefly explain that again? You mentioned 2 different types of PLA.
Yes, I mentioned 2 different types. The Open Campus offers 2 options for prior learning assessment: matriculation for admissions and advanced placement within a program of interest. The requirements of each option also differ in that for PLA for matriculation admissions, the requirements are they must be at least 18 years of age, have 2 years experience post-CSEC, possess non-formal, informal, or short-term training in the program of areas of interest, and demonstrate learning from experience in the subject areas approved for matriculation. For the persons for advanced placement or standing in a program, the requirements are participants must have reached at least the age of 21, have been working at 5+ years in their area of interest, have relevant training in the area of study, and relevant learning from experience. Additionally, for PLA for advanced placement, persons can earn up to 7 level 1 credit courses in their program for advanced placement. Other than that, all the requirements for the course are basically similar, but thus the only difference are the requirements and the earning of credit.
Okay, so one is PLA for advanced
PLA
placement.
for matriculation, yes,
Right.
PLA for matriculation or admission, and PLA for advanced placement into a program.
Okay, thank you very much, Monica. And Keisha, I'm coming back to you again because student affairs is very important in this time. Can you repeat the deadlines for the undergraduate as well as the graduate programs for the applications?
Okay, sure. At this time, we have a deadline of June 30th for our graduate programs and July 15th for our undergraduate programs. We are currently looking at the possibility of extending it a little, but for now, those are the deadline dates.
And maybe based on the interest from tonight, we may have to extend these deadlines.
Well, let's hope, right? Let's hope. But one of the things I wanted to add to that question before it was brought back to my memory, with respect to the students with CAPE, they must be registered to do the other part of the course as well. All right? Yes? For the CAPE, at the CAPE level.
Okay, so they must be registered for CAPE 2.
Yes, CAPE 2. All right?
All right, I think we are almost there. Our 2 hours went by very quickly. It's now 8 o'clock actually, according to my computer, in the Eastern Caribbean. That's 7 o'clock in Jamaica and 6 o'clock in Belize. The Open Campus operates across 3 time zones. I have one last question coming in from Facebook. Can you advance your studies by doing more courses to finish the degree quicker, part-time or full-time? I'm not sure if APAD or student services want to take that one. The question is, go ahead, Kevin.
Yes. Yes, you can, but we are very, very particular in making sure that students are successful. So what we do is we do advise our students, and we make sure that we look at your load, look at your what you're doing offline in terms of your work and your personal life, and we do advise you appropriately. Yes, you can take more courses, but it comes with advice from our program managers, from persons in the course, making sure that you are successful. So it's really possible, but making sure that we work with you for it. So Isha could probably.
Thank you. All right, so that brings us to the end of our first Open Campus Online Recruitment Fair. As I said, next week, same time, same place, Thursday the 25th, we're going to be focusing on our Open Campus country sites, and we have country sites in 16 countries, 42 sites. I want to thank all of the presenters tonight, as well as the entertainers that you would have seen. But behind the scenes, there are some very important people who have contributed to making this happen. And I hope that I have all of the names: David Foster, Richard Bath, Patrick Johnson, Louis Boxell, Marcia Reed, Cherise Glasgow, and everybody else who have contributed to making this a success. Thank you very much, and we hope that you will join us next week, Thursday, the 25th of June, same time, same place on the Open Campus YouTube channel